Hi there, it's Janice Thompson from JazzleDazzleCrafts.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator working in Scotland. Today I want to share with you my customer thank you gifts that for all the customers who shopped with me in August. I'm running a bit late with everything just now, but I've got one left here. But what I didn't do, I've posted the others out, but what I didn't do was write down the instructions. So I'm going to share the process with you, how I made this and show you how I worked out the measurements, because I'm going to have to do that off the cuff to be able to show you, because I didn't keep a note of them when I did the batch, and it wasn't convenient to film at that time. So I'm filming it now to share it with you all. It's just what I've done is I wanted to gift some seeds, so I've got another packet here. I'm quite interested in nature, and I'm quite interested in how important bees are to us, so I do try to plant in my own garden flowers and plants that will attract the bees and help with pollination of all our crops and things. So I decided to gift some flower seeds to my customers in the hope that next year they'll plant some, blah blah. But anyway, so what I did was I made an envelope with the envelope punch board that the seeds could fit in. So to do that, I made my own designer series paper here, made the envelope with the envelope punch board, and made a wee belly band, which I'm struggling to get back on. Try it on from the other side. That's going to go, yeah. It's catching, that's all it is. Right, okay, there we go. I made a wee belly band with thank you, and I thought I'd feature the bees, and I've used my favourite stamp set, one of my stamp sets which I think is a staple and should be in any demonstrator stamping kit, and this is Touches of Texture. It's a 2-box set, and Touches of Texture is exactly what it is, but it's got some exquisite flowers in it and lovely dragonfly and this gorgeous bee. So I just fitted my idea and my theme. So I'm just going to get a piece of card and show you how I made my own designer series paper using this set. So a whole full sheet of Whisper White, and then the colours I used, and I'm just going to use again, are Soft Seafoam and Balmy Blue. So they're the colours I'm going to use, and I'm going to use this lovely texture stamp in the background, and I'm going to get the background is Soft Seafoam. So I'm just getting that open. Now, what I like about making my own designer series paper, because I'm the designer, so that's why I call it designer series paper, because I'm designing it, but using the Stampin' Up! Stamps. So, and the stamps just make it so easy, they're so wonderful. So my favourite is still these red rubber stamps. So some ink on, and I'm going to ink and stamp, ink and stamp, ink and stamp. A wee bit of fluff there. Ink and stamp, and basically until the whole sheet has got that lovely texture on it. I actually find you're not going to see too much, and the light is not good today. I've tried blinds up, blinds down, light on, light off. I'm going to have to get some expert help because I'm clearly not getting the lighting, but I didn't want to not share with you, and I know at this point you're probably not seeing an awful lot, but I'm sure you can see the texture coming now. So I've done the background with the Soft Seafoam and that lovely texture. I use that a lot. It gives a nice grungy background. I use that a lot in cards, that, you know, So that I don't get covered in ink. At least the soft sea foam is a nice gentle colour. And then I'm going to use the Balmy Blue for the flowers. Oops. So I've got that in my corner. I don't know if you can see the ink, but here we go. That's just to the side. So basically, again, randomly, I'm using this solid flower first. So just randomly over the paper, turning the stamp sometimes. And it really doesn't matter if it's even or it's not even, because I'm going to cut the paper up anyway. So that'll do for that stamp. I'm going to take that off and put it to be cleaned. And the other stamp on this block, these fit nicely onto a C block. So then this is the flower with that's open. You could colour it in, but I'm not. I'm just going to simply stamp as it is. I'm not wanting this to be overly complicated. The thing is, every sheet will be different, so it makes that every envelope that I make will be different. Okay, so that, I think that's enough of that, and then I'm going to pop my bees in the middle. So I've taken the bee stamp and put it on my little A block, I think it is, yep, my A block, and I'm going to use my black Memento here. Close the Balmy Blue, or I'll end up covered. And then I'm just randomly going to pop the bees around. The bees are need some up here. It's like a swarm. I think that's maybe enough bees to deal with today. So I've stamped them with the Memento. Need to just let that dry off a little bit. And then I have one of my blends pens, and I have the dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm using the brush end, which I use most of the time. Now a very, very light touch here, so basically just the edge, so you're just basically tickling the surface of the card. Don't press hard because you spoil your brush head. So basically you're just popping the stripes into the bees. So I think it's bumblebees that have the stripe. Do you know how many species of bees there are in the world? I believe it'll be thousands. We have lots of species of bees even in the UK. But a lot of people still don't understand that bees are our friends and we really need them. If we're going to continue to have a diet that's based on fruit and veg, we need our bees to pollinate our trees and our crops, or we won't have them. So if you have a little space in your garden or a pot, please plant some flowers that the bees like. Just Google and you'll find out what grows well in your area and what the bees will be attracted to. So it's just a matter of going over and adding your yellow to your bees. I'm just going over all the bees. You don't have to be too precise, it's just an arty look. We're nearly there. Okay, so that's the yellow on, and then the final part for this part of it is my beloved Wink of Stella. If you've got the new shimmer paints, you might be able to use them with a brush and just basically just over the wings of the bee and give it a wee bit of a glisten. It probably isn't showing up too well on the camera. I'll see if I can, but it does add to the, let's see if the focus will work. It does add to it quite a bit. Anyway, I'll continue to do this off camera and let it dry, and then I'll come back on and show you how I made the envelope. I'm just going to do this film in a few parts. Okay, so that's the paper ready for cutting up. So I was going to stop the film just now, and I'll be back in a little while to do the next part with you. Thanks for your patience. So I'm actually going to change this for one that's fully dried. So what I'm going to do now is show you how I worked out the measurements. So this is the pack of seeds that I want to make an envelope for. So I did measure it, and as you see, it is just within 5 3/4 of an inch by 2 7/8 of an inch. You see these 8, yeah, so 2 7/8. I've written that down here. On my phone I have an app for my envelope punch board. It's called Envelope Generator, and so what I've done is I've put, can you, I don't know what you can see because it'll be white. It's, all this white is not working in today's light. It's a really strange light today. So I've put 5 3/4 of an inch in for the long edge and 2 7/8 in for the short edge. So you put that in, you hit generate, and then it tells you that you need to cut a square of paper that is, I'm going to write it down because my phone will switch off, 7 3/8 of an inch squared, and my punch guide measurement is 2 5/8 of an inch. Now the reason I use inches in here is on my envelope punch board the inches are easier to see than the centimetres, but equally you can use centimetres too. Okay, so you would just measure whatever it is you want to wrap, and that will work it out. So if you just bear with me, we'll get the trimmer and we'll cut this to 7 3/8 of an inch. So I'll need my arm out, and I need to find 7 3/8. So that's just to there. Now, so let's hope this works because it's a long time since I actually made the original batch. So 7 3/8, and there's enough cut off there that I'll be able to use to make a thank you card or something similar with the scrap. So here we go, a square that measures 7 3/8. Put the trimmer away, and and get my envelope punch board. So of course it says the guide measurement is 2 5/8. So what you do is you get your envelope punch board settled where you're going to work. And all the inches here are marked in white, which is why it's easier to see, especially in this poor light today. So I need to find the 2 5/8 measurement, and there it is there. And so what we do is we punch down and score along the scoreboard is here, like that. And then we turn it through 90 degrees. And that score line, we line that up with this guideline here, so that that part there is sitting on the line. Now please excuse mine, I must have transported it to a class and got it caught on something, and the wee guideline is just a bit wonky. But that, I kind of know it, so that is it on the line. So then make the score and punch, or punch and make the score, whatever, but so that you end up with these two lines intersecting at the bit where you're punching. And then you just turn it through another 90 degrees and line that up with the score line as well. Punch. And if you're making a whole batch of these, then you know you can work pretty quickly. So that's that bit, and then 90 degrees again. Make sure that's on your score line. Score, punch, and that's it. Done, dusted. So I'll put the punch board away. So I'll just show you another wee feature of the punch board, though we'll do it this way today. You can cut round the corners. I don't think I did on my original ones, but you use this bit at the back of the punch. It's an excellent corner rounder. There you go. So if you don't have your triple punch available, you know, you've got your envelope punch board to round corners. So then, oops. Right, so that's, I'll just clear away all the litter. So basically that's your envelope, but as you see in this particular design, because it's long and narrow, our tabs are, so what I'm going to do is fold this back a wee bit and then fold it in. Oh, I'm just going to take some, excuse me, some snail. I was just slightly out of my reach. And you could cut that off, but I've decided to just fold it in on itself. So I'll just take that and fold that over there. Just gives a nice neat finish there. And then the same here, I'm just going to fold this tab. And you wouldn't have to, you could just wrap it round. Do you know, you could just do that. Wrap it round, that's fine as well. So, but I'll just put a wee bit of, you could cut it off, you could wrap it round, and then I get sticky on my pad, and that will annoy me. I'm actually going to move this pad. Hope there's a clean one underneath. Oh, it's nearly clean. Notes on it. I'm going to do this. There you go. So we've made our envelope really. All I've got to do is just put some glue on here. I'm just using snail. It's going to have a belly band, so it doesn't have to be particularly strong. But because this is just the lightweight Whisper White snail is strong enough to hold it. So there you go. There's the, where's my seeds? Pop my seeds in. Fits perfectly. What do you think? So that's that part. So the next part we have is a belly band, which of course I've not measured or worked out, so I'm just looking at this one that was left over, and so it's a bit over an inch. Obviously it was probably just used from a scrap of Bami Blue that I had. So let's see what we've got in the scraps department here. I don't even know if I've got any soft sea foam scraps. Got some Bami Blue here. Excuse me one moment, let's see if I've got a piece of soft sea foam in my scrap box. Yeah, I thought I did. I had pulled out some mint macaron scraps, but no, I've got this piece of soft sea foam, so we'll get there. So the next thing is to make the belly band. So I'm just going to cut a strip that's approximately an inch. I think the other one about an inch and a quarter or something like that. It's not really that important. What's important is that it goes all the way around. I'm pretty sure. So we'll just, what will we do, an inch and a quarter? Just get that straight there. Oops, actually might be better to, yeah, I'll do it out the other way. See if you have a look, your trimmer, you can get, when you're doing small measurements, sometimes it's easier to use this bit at the side if you're doing up to an inch and a quarter actually. That's quite good, so I'm going to cut it that way. Right, so that's that bit. Get that out the way from, in fact, don't need Bami Blue at all again. So, as I say, most of this I'm doing from memory. So then I'm just going to, I've taken this strip of card, I'm going to take it and bend it around. You do this once you've got the item that you want to gift in the envelope, because then it'll work better so that you can take it on and off. So obviously, as you see, that is too long. So I'm just going to cut my card. I need a bit that overlaps so that I can stick it together. So there we go, just cut that. And that goes over fine and it slips on and off, no bother. So just need a bit of snail there. And as we say, do it while it's on the envelope. Just line it up so that it's nice and straight. Oh, that's as she says, and making it squint. Right, it's straight now. So that's that part. It just depends where I'm going to put the smooth side. It doesn't want to go back on now. Does this always happen when you're filming? When you're sitting doing it on your own? I'm going to put the join on the front of this envelope simply because I'm going to cover it over with my sentiment. Now, where did I get my thank you? I think that my thank you sentiment, because there's no sentiments in the Touches of Texture set, it's just full of lots of lovely, so I think where, oh, my stamp sets are all over the place, because here it is, because I've got other things planned to do. Here we go, love what you do. This lovely thank you sentiment here is what I used, so we'll take that out while it's on my mind. And then I'll get my punches. Okay, so here we have the punches ready to go. So it looks like my battery is going to run out soon, so we'll just quickly try and finish this off. So I'm using the 2-inch circle punch, and with the soft sea foam we're going to cut out the Starburst Punch and Soft Sea Foam. And we're just going to quickly stamp. I'll put the punches out of the way. We'll take our Balmy Blue. And the thank you. Oops. That just fits nicely across the middle there. And we'll take our bees again. A couple of bees on there. I'll do a couple or three. We'll have a third one coming in this way. And then basically just going to stick them together and stick them on there, and that will, I'm not going to do that right now because my film is actually going to run out, so I'm just going to finish it off so that it looks like this. So it really is just stick them together. You can put them onto your belly band with dimensionals or with snail, but please just be a bit careful. I'll just quickly put this one together with snail while I'm saying goodbye. Thanks for sticking with me on this video. Please comment below what you think about this wee gift that I've given to my customers. That was for the people who shopped in August. So up and down that way. And all that's left to do on that is colour in the bees. That one I've put on dimensionals, that one's without dimensionals. If you're going to send them through the post, you may want to just put them without dimensionals. And just quickly, I'm just talking, so please subscribe down below. Please share with other people, and please comment and let me know what you think. I really appreciate everyone who watches. And if there's something in particular you want me to show you or do with you, well, let me know that and we'll have a go. Thank you very much.